Okay, we're ready.
So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady University's Master of Science and Nutritional Sciences information session. We are also known as Fran U, and we are located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Miss Zero, you'll have to advance. Thank you. So, the outline for our program. This evening, we'll discuss our mission, go over our program overview, review the curriculum outline because there has been a few changes made to the curriculum starting this fall, and we'll review that. We'll discuss our rotation overview that we're very excited to share with you tonight. Discuss some professional development opportunities that you'll have in the program, discuss our new admission requirements that we just updated our admission requirements. And so we're excited to share those updated requirements with you all. And then lastly, we'll go over our tuition and some student testimonies on why we feel like you should choose Fran U. And then lastly, how to apply to our program. So this should take about 30 minutes, and then we'll have time at the end for a Q&A. So the program has 2 core faculty members plus an academic support coordinator. My name is Dr. Catherine Fake. I am the program director for the graduate program. And also on the call with us tonight is Ms. Amy Serio. She is the director of clinical education. And so she'll be sharing with you guys a lot of the information related to supervised practice or the rotations. And then we have Ms. Teosha Nelson, who serves as our academic support coordinator. And so a lot of communication comes out from Teosha on behalf of the program. The mission of the MSNS program at Fran U is to educate and form entry-level registered dietitian nutritionists or dietetic practitioners to meet the core competencies for becoming servant leaders in health and wellness. With a concentration in community nutrition, our graduates are educated in the most rigorous, individualized, professional, and comprehensive manner. Our program is housed in the School of Health Professions. So at Fran U, there's 3 schools, the School of Health Professions, the School of Nursing, and the School of Arts and Sciences. So we are in a school that is comprised of very many other allied health programs to include the Physical Therapist Assistant Program, the Rad Tech program, respiratory therapy, medical lab science, physician assistant, and physical therapy. And I share this with you all because we do a lot of interprofessional collaboration with other clinical programs, including the nursing program here on campus. And so the pictures indicate, we'll talk more about our skills lab preparation, but we do have an interprofessional simulation hospital that we recently built on Fran U's campus. It's a 3-story building, and 2 of the stories are our simulation hospital. And so you see here our student at the top picture, she's actually inserting a nasogastric tube on a mannequin, and that is one of our clinical skills that we incorporated as part of our accreditation requirements last year. And then the bottom picture is our student performing a nutrition-focused physical exam on a mannequin. So we do a lot of skills lab preparations on mannequins and models prior to students going into rotations to do them on real-life patients. So I wanted to discuss our program concentrations. The MSNS program at Fran U, we actually have 2 concentrations. So our first concentration is our ASIN accredited Future Education Model graduate program, and we're calling this the RDN concentration. If you are somewhat familiar with our program, this used to be the dietetic internship concentration. However, we were just approved to reorganize the program into an ACEN accredited future education model graduate program. And what that means is that the master's component just came under accreditation because it wasn't under ACEN accreditation, and now it is. So it really just elevates the quality of our program. I do want to mention that we are the first ACEN accredited graduate program in the state of Louisiana, and the only program in Louisiana, and the only ACEN accredited graduate program along the Gulf Coast. And so in future slides, we'll talk about the if particularly the admission requirements that we were able to modify based on this new designation. But the ACEN accredited graduate program does integrate supervised experiential learning experiences, which are known as rotations, or supervised practice is what the dietetic internship had, but it does integrate those rotations and other graduate level projects into the graduate curriculum. And this track or this concentration does lead to the RD credential. So once you would graduate from this concentration of our program, you would receive a verification statement to sit for the board exam to become a registered dietitian. And this concentration is what we'll focus on mainly for the remainder of the presentation. Our other concentration is our thesis track, and this is 100% online. The thesis track is ideal for bachelor prepared dietitians or students who are in a freestanding dietetic internship program, because as of January 1st, students will need a master's degree to sit for the board exam, and now that is the entry level requirement as a master's degree. So if students are matched to a freestanding dietetic internship program, they can come to FrainU to get their master's, or if somebody is already a dietitian but holds a bachelor's degree, they can come back and get their master's. And this is, like I mentioned, 100% online. Okay, a little bit more about the Future Education Model Graduate Program. So this is a Master of Science in Nutritional Sciences. It's integrated with over 1,000 hours of supervised experiential learning. And again, that's just rotations where students would go into different facilities and different organizations to gain hands-on experience under the guidance of a registered dietitian as their preceptor. This program satisfies the requirement to complete an ACEN accredited supervised practice program in order to sit for the RD exam, as I mentioned. And then again, as I mentioned, as of January 1st, the minimum requirement was a master's degree. So this program satisfies that requirement as well. A little bit more about the graduate program. It is an unpaid graduate program. However, there are stipends available and scholarships available to all of our students. It is a full-time hybrid program. And when I say that, hybrid means that some courses are 100% online and some courses are face-to-face. And then we have a couple courses that are a blend between online and face-to-face. And so it's not a truly online program. We do have some face-to-face courses, but most of the graduate courses are online. It's a 17-month program, so it's pretty accelerated for it being a master's degree. It's 4 semesters long, so students will start in August and complete the fall, spring, summer, and then fall semester. So 4 semesters long, and they'll graduate the following December, which is a 17-month period. The program follows our university's academic calendar, which is great because students get off for every holiday. We get off a week for spring break. We have semester breaks where you don't have any coursework or rotations during semesters. You have off for Christmas. And so I know many programs do not follow the academic calendar and they kind of go straight through. But we felt that it was very important to offer our students the breaks that they deserve. I mentioned skills lab preparations in the first semester, and I mentioned that we have a simulation hospital. And so the first semester is dedicated. We have a course with a lab that is dedicated to skills lab preparation, and we do lots of hands-on activities with, performing nutrition education and counseling, performing nutrition assessments, going through the nutrition care process, placing NG tubes, performing swallow screens, performing nutrition focused physical exams, biometric screenings, all those clinical skills that are required of graduate programs now or entry-level registered dietitians. All that training is done the first semester under the guidance of a faculty member. And rotations begin the second semester. In the spring semester is when you'll start rotations. So we feel like we fully prepare you to begin rotations, and you don't really jump into rotations right when you start the program. This is 36 total credit hours. And so 26 of those credit hours are known as didactic, which means that it's graduate coursework, and that's 100% online. And then we have 10 credit hours towards clinical-based courses, and that is based upon the rotations and the simulations that students do. And I'll starting with the next slide, I'll hand it over to Ms. Serio.
Okay, so we're going to kind of go over the curriculum outline for the program. So like Dr. Fake said, in the first semester, you're going to have, instead of beginning rotations, you're going to have the advanced methods of nutrition assessment course and then the corresponding labs. So you will, our students do come to class and come to campus in person twice a week during the semester. The other two courses are the Community Nutrition Policy and Programs course, which is online and taught by me. And then we also have the Bionutrition course. So you have a total of 10 credits your first fall semester. And then in the spring, you will take Advanced Medical Nutrition Therapy, which is online. All the courses are online besides the practicums going forward for the rest of the semester. So in the spring, you would be taking Advanced Medical Nutrition Therapy, which is taught by Dr. Fake, an IPG course, Essentials of Evidence-Informed Practice in Healthcare. So you have other students from other disciplines in that course with you. And then there is the Advanced Food System and Food Security course, which I teach online as well. And then your dietetics practicum. So how that works is basically you attend your rotations Monday through Thursday of every week that we're in school, that part of the academic calendar. And then on Fridays, you come to class for 2 hours and have your coursework there. And it just kind of goes along with the rotation. So that's 2 hours on Friday. We typically have class from 9 to 11 on Friday mornings. And that's for the spring semester, the summer, and the fall. So that's a total of 13 credit hours. And in the summer, you would take another IPG course with other students from other disciplines, the ethics and medical law, and then your second dietetics practicum with your rotations. And then the last semester is nutrition education and counseling, capstone research project, which goes along with the master's, and then the third dietetics practicum. So each fall you'll have a total of 10 credit hours. So like Dr. Fake mentioned earlier, a total for the whole program of 36 hours. So this is kind of how everything is broken down for the rotation, the different rotation areas that we have. So you can see clinical takes up the majority of the rotation time. Then we go down to community and food service. Specialty of choice, I'll kind of give y'all some more information about that. There's also professional staff experience, and then we do some research, and we do alternate lab experiences. So like when Dr. Falke showed the slides with the simulation and working with standardized patients and working with the mannequins in the skills lab, those are considered those alternate experiences. So like she mentioned earlier, the rotations will begin in January. So most of the rotations are about a week, well, 1 to 2 weeks long for the clinical rotations. And your main clinical and your main food service are a little bit longer. Those are 5 and 4 weeks respectively. And typically you'll be assigned in the Baton Rouge or Lafayette areas, or, surrounding those areas too. There may be places that are not in Baton Rouge proper, in Lafayette proper, but, in the general area. So again, the Monday through Thursday is the rotation hour. So you get 32 hours per week. And then at the end of the semester, the end of the program, you should have about 1,135 hours. And let me go back to tell you guys about the specialty of choice. So what we started doing this semester for our current cohort, and it's going pretty well, is instead of assigning every single rotation that they have, we do give some liberty as far as some community rotation hours and also some clinical hours, to where the students can look at the rotation choices that we have and choose maybe some specialty areas that they would prefer to go to, versus everybody going to the same place. And if their interests are not in that area, we don't want to not waste everybody's time, but we want to make sure we're putting you in a place where you want to be and you want to learn more. So that's been pretty successful so far. The students have enjoyed being able to kind of pick those specialty rotations. So just to break it down a little bit further, over 1,000 hours of supervised experiential learning and experiences that we try to tailor to you guys. So we're always looking for new rotation sites. We're getting new preceptors consistently. So it's really going to be tailored to try to get you into the specialty or to exposure to the things that you're interested in. So this is just not an exhaustive list of rotation sites, but again, like I said, we do have rotation sites in Baton Rouge and Lafayette. I'm not going to read through every single one of these, but we are affiliated with the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System. So like when you hear Our Lady of the Lake, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, we're also affiliated with Our Lady of the Lourdes in Lafayette, Our Lady of the Angels in Bogalusa. There's also some in Monroe and Jackson, Mississippi. So that's an advantage for us, that we can, if we have students that maybe live closer to those locations or are interested in going to other locations, we have that affiliation with the health system, which allows us to be able to expand a little bit more. And also any corresponding clinics that are part of the health system, we also are able to send students there. So you can see there's such a variety from the Bariatric and Metabolic Institute to community rotations through Eat Fit. We have opportunities for sports nutrition, for pediatrics, women's health. So, and that's just in Baton Rouge. So let me show you guys Lafayette. Like I said, since we're part of that health system, pretty much all the sites in Lafayette will kind of mimic the sites in Baton Rouge. So you'll get the same experiences because it'll be the same type of rotation. It's just in a different location. So like we have students who primarily have their rotations in Baton Rouge, but they'll go to Lafayette for a rotation, every couple of weeks or something like that, just to be able to experience that diversity. But as far as the rotations themselves, you're going to get the same consistent rotations in Baton Rouge and in Lafayette and wherever else you may be. We also have all of our students. This is a picture from this past year at the Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo through the Academy, and we won the School Spirit Award. We had the most participants. So this is our current cohort, and with the president right here in the middle and another representative here. So we did attend that, and then these are the future dates. So it is a requirement of the cohort to attend the FNCE conference as well as the conference, the Louisiana Academy Conference, which is actually this week and next week. We do offer, like Dr. Fauke said, stipends and things to help offset the cost for the conventions. And then we also have working on fundraising ideas for the cohorts to be able to raise money to go to the conventions as well. And it's a great learning experience. It's great networking. And that's why we do it. It's a really unique experience that a lot of people don't get to do once they're in their professional field. And then there's also opportunities for research. So we have our own FranU Research and Scholarship Showcase. This is one of our previous winners, based on one of the previous cohort's capstone projects. She presented at FNCE in 2022. And this is just another photo of our class from 2022. We also have dedicated time for RD exam prep. So every semester, we do two in the spring, 2 in the fall, and 1 in the summer. So we do a mock exam. The first one is like a practice, and in your dietetics practicum course, you're going to get information to review for the exam. Every exam is focused on a specific domain, and it typically correlates with whatever courses you're learning at the time. So for example, our students are currently in the advanced food systems course and in the M&T course. So the 2 domains that we're focusing on this semester are domains 1 and 4, and that's the food service systems and clinical. So the preparation is focused on those particular domains. There's also a subscription to Visual Veggies, which is part of the tuition, and the Gene Inman Review course. So we're constantly, giving that exposure to those different exams to practice and to know the material, but also be able to sit for the exam and take the test like you would in that testing environment. And I will turn it back over to Dr. Fauke to kind of review the thesis route.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Serio. So I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. We talked a lot about the accredited graduate program, and if for those of you on the call interested in the thesis track, I did want to share that with you. The thesis track, as I mentioned, is 100% online. The credits range anywhere from 30 to 32 credits, depending on the elective that you choose. And it's very similar to the curriculum from the graduate program. So the first semester is community nutrition and bionutrition that you'll take with the graduate program students, but you do have the option to choose an elective anywhere from 2 to 4 credits. We have an independent study course for nutrition. We have a population health course titled Social Determinants, Disparities and Inequality in Healthcare, which is 2 credit hours. And I will offer the thesis students the choice to choose the advanced methods of nutrition assessment plus lab as their elective, but that is a face-to-face course. But this curriculum could be 100% online if you chose one of the other electives. In the spring, you'll take advanced M&T, the Essentials of Evidence-Informed Practice in Healthcare, which is essentially a research methods and statistics course in one. We used to have those two courses separated, and starting this fall, we redeveloped and reimagined those two courses and developed one course for the entire, all of the students and all of the graduate programs across campus. And then the spring, you'll also take an advanced food systems course. In the summer, you'll take that 1-hour ethics course, and then you'll start your thesis project under the close supervision of a faculty member. And you'll continue your thesis project the last fall and take nutrition ed and counseling, and then a population health and managerial epidemiology course that lives in our Masters of Health Administration program. Okay, so admissions requirements. I do want to announce to everybody that our admissions requirements have recently changed, and we hope that the change in our admission requirements will allow a broader range of students to be able to apply to our program. And so when we were a dietetic internship program, we required the verification statement from a didactic program in dietetics. And if you're familiar with dietetics education, all dietetic internship programs are required to for students to hold this specific degree. Well, for ASCEND accredited graduate programs like we are now, ASCEND allows graduate programs to conduct their own or come up with their own admissions requirements. And so most graduate programs, including ours, do not require the verification statement or from the didactic program in dietetics. So our admission requirements, of course, students who have a degree from a didactic program in dietetics will be, allowed to apply to our program. If you do not have this specific degree, then we do require a bachelor's degree with the following prerequisites: earned grade of C or better. And these prerequisites include statistics, general chemistry, 6 hours of general chemistry, 3 hours of organic chemistry, biochem, 6 hours of anatomy and physiology, 3 hours of microbiology, and then 4 nutrition courses: an intro to nutrition, nutrition assessment, human nutrition and metabolism, and nutrition and disease, also known as medical nutrition therapy in some schools. A minimum of a GPA of a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale is strongly recommended. And documented evidence of service and leadership through work and or volunteer experiences. And I will mention that we do not require the GRE. If you take the GRE, of course, you are welcome to submit your results. However, it is not a requirement to get into our program. And I will mention that these admission requirements are for both tracks, for the graduate program track as well as the thesis track. Okay, so our tuition costs. We are $600 a credit hour. And I do want to mention that we are one of the most affordable private universities in the entire United States. The total cost of the tuition and fees, and I apologize, this is the cost just related to the graduate program. The thesis track is a little bit cheaper because it's less credit hours, but for the ASCEND accredited graduate program, it's around $26,000 for your master's and in rotation. Financial aid, stipends, and scholarships are available. Since we are a university, we are allowed for students to apply for FAFSA or financial aid And then this is the tuition breakdown by semester. And so you'll kind of see that the total cost is right under $26,000. And I do want to mention, for those of you listening who are out-of-state residents, since we are a private university, we do not charge out-of-state tuition fees. So this is the flat cost across the board, whether you are a resident of Louisiana or out of state. So how to apply? We had a priority deadline of February 15th. However, we received approval for the graduate program on February 9th. So we have extended the deadline to apply to our program to July 15th for an August start date. And so all program applications for either track, for either concentration, must be submitted through DICAS. And DICAS is the centralized application system for dietetics programs. And I shared the link here, but you can Google DICAS or Liaison CAS, and it should come up, and you create a login, and then you'll just search Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady University and go through the steps. It's very user-friendly. So once you're in DICAS, you need to upload the following: all your college and university transcripts from every school you attended, a personal letter addressing program-specific questions, which those questions can be found on our website, and 3 letters of recommendation. And we suggest that you have a letter of recommendation from a professor, from an employer, and any other professional. Your resume to include your work and volunteer experiences. And then after your application has been submitted and completed, then we'll reach out to you for an interview. And this is an interview with the core faculty members, Nasario and I, and you'll have the option to do either a virtual or a face-to-face interview. So I just listed why choose FranU, just to kind of wrap up our conversation tonight. So we are a faith-based environment. We are a Catholic university and rooted in the core values of St. Francis of Assisi. We have a simulation lab and a simulation hospital, which provides really unique opportunities for hands-on training that most programs do not have those resources to provide for their students. So we're very fortunate in that we do have a really state-of-the-art, brand new simulation lab that students can participate in. We're pretty fast-tracked. We're a 17-month program, whereas most master's programs are 24 months or 2 years long. As Ms. Serio discussed, we have a variety of rotation sites, and there's plenty more that she didn't even mention. So that is definitely a plus for our program. We reviewed the curriculum with you guys, but the curriculum is really designed around the different domains of the RD exam. And so we feel like it really prepares students to be competent to be successful on the RD exam. We provide lots of leadership and service opportunities. We have service learning project in the first semester. We have community outreach, programs that we partner with. We have leadership opportunities through SGA and the Franciscan Nutrition Association. As I mentioned, financial aid assistance is offered since we are a university. We have dedicated time for board preparation for the RD exam. We have scheduled breaks since we follow the academic calendar. And as I mentioned, FranU is the first and only ASIND accredited graduate program along the Gulf Coast, and one of the few in the entire Southeast region of the United States. And so that's definitely a plus for FranU being one of these only graduate programs. And lastly, I just wanted to end with some student testimonies. Some students talk about how they appreciate the support of directors and staff, to prepare and to learn and succeed in rotations. Brooke mentioned that the MSNS program at FRANU has quality teachers who take a personal interest in our success as graduate students. This program offers a wide variety of rotations and curricula that prepares us to be well equipped for the ORDI exam and go on to be successful dietitians. It's also provided us great networking opportunities through each rotation site. And then another student mentioned that she enjoyed the bond that she had with the other students in the cohort and how that bond was strengthened. We have a thesis student currently, and this student stated that the program is slated to give her the confidence to enter any nutrition or food related field with the expertise on the best evidence-based methods for success. So those are just some student testimonies that we're really proud of. And then lastly, please explore our website. We just updated it last week to update for the new graduate program. So it's franu.edu/MSNS. And we do have some social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube that you can go check us out. And then lastly, if you have any questions, here's our contact information. Please feel free to reach out to either myself or Ms. Serio or Ms. Teosha Nelson. So that's the end of our presentation. I'll open it up for if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat, and we'll go ahead and answer any questions. If you don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more from you. You're welcome. Thank y'all for attending. Really appreciate it.
All right.
You can stop recording, Amy.